Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I've got my buddy Johnny. Whoops, he's this way here with me today. And we're going to be right back after we take this quick break. If you guys will do us a favor and give us a like, share this video. And we've got lots to talk about, including a bet that Johnny has with one of his friends. So we'll see how that plays out. We'll be right back. We're back on the new normal. Johnny, you sent me some interesting information. I don't know if we get right to that or go to your tweet first. What do you want to do first?
Whatever you want to do. Let's go to the interesting information first.
Okay, so I heard and I saw, and does this have to do with the interview you did recently and with Nerd Girl and the Hexicans?
Oh, was that the Theta bet?
That's what I'm asking you. I don't know.
No. It's totally unrelated.
Okay. Oh, so you're just causing trouble all over. You're torturing, you're terrorizing the Hexicans. You're making bets against Theta.
Hexicans, I was building bridges with them. No, they were cool. They were it was good to go on their show and hear about what they do. A lot of them like Litecoin, so it wasn't like an enemy thing. So that was pretty cool. But the bet with Theta, I wanted to bring that up because I know a lot of people that watch this channel, I bet, are Theta holders. So I have a dear friend of mine in crypto. He's also a dear friend of mine in real life. He also is into crypto. We made a bet maybe, I think it was about 2 months ago. And that I said Litecoin would before Theta tripled in price. And this was when Theta was around $7 and Litecoin was around 200. So I said Litecoin was going to get to $600 before Theta got to $21.
So do you think that'll be this month?
And so what happened was,
we're running out of time.
Right after we made the bet, Theta took off.
Oh.
And so I was actually, every day he was calling me, I was saying to him, now who do I make that check out to again when I answer the phone? Even though I'm not writing him a check, the deal is if he wins, I'm paying him in Litecoin. And if I win, he's paying me in Theta. So that was
that's a good way to work that out. That's
how we were going to work it out.
It sounds like everybody's going to win on that.
It's kind of like a win-win all around, we figured. So it's right now the bet is evening out because what happened was Theta was hot when we first made the bet. And then Theta has since cooled down and Litecoin kind of got hot. And so now Litecoin's kind of catching up to Theta in terms of the bet that we made. So it's interesting to see which one's will Theta close at $21 before Litecoin hits 600.
Oh, just keep talking. Either one of those, I'm perfectly happy.
I'm curious to see what you guys think out there.
Yeah, you guys give us in the comments. Let us know if you think Theta will go to 21 before Litecoin goes to 600 or the other way around. Which one crosses that finish line first? And that's really just a starting line for the next.
The reason I felt like it was a good bet on my end, even though it's a friendly bet with a friend, but I'm competitive. I still want to win the bet. So what made me think it was a good bet was that Litecoin is very undervalued at $200 and relative to what Bitcoin was at, what Ethereum was at, and relative to what Theta was at, because Theta was at an all-time high at that point in time when it was at 7. So relative to all that, I was like, hey, Litecoin is very undervalued. And
there's a lot of news about Litecoin recently too, with the whole Venmo.
Sure, yeah.
News. It just seems like there's a lot of talk around about it.
Yeah, the Venmo news is is huge with Litecoin, and we're going to see they're going to have to acquire a lot of Litecoin. That's why we saw the price of Litecoin going up today, and a lot of other stuff wasn't.
So are they going to do the same thing that PayPal was doing, where they have to purchase it and then it exists within their system? Like you can't cash out, or will you be able to cash out of Venmo?
Well, you can cash out in PayPal. But you just can't. You can't send a transaction into PayPal or into Venmo from the Litecoin network.
Okay.
Buy it in their fiat, then they'll let you hold it in there. My thinking is the reason why they're doing this is to prevent scams, because it's kind of like crypto with training wheels now. And but it's, it's just a way for people to get exposure to the asset, I guess without fear of getting it hacked and sent out. Mm-hmm. Kind of a safe way for people to have access. Now we can argue, is that safe or not? Because people will say, well, PayPal third parties holding it. Then I guess the benefit is you can't send a transaction out of there on the network. So if your account's hacked, all they could do is, I guess, sell the Litecoin for you and send the money to your bank account. So it's not like they couldn't.
So it can't. That was my understanding, is that you could not pull Litecoin off the PayPal.
You can't. You could only sell it on there. You can't send it out of there.
And you cannot hold it in your own custody. You can hold it in your PayPal account, which is held by PayPal.
Sure.
But, so I wondered if Venmo was doing the same thing, or were they allowing you to cash out? Because on Cash App, you can actually hold your Bitcoin. You can buy Bitcoin on Cash App, and you can pull it off and hold it in your own custody.
You can remove it right away. I think PayPal is just going about it different. Okay. Well, Cash App in the beginning didn't let you remove the Bitcoin either, and then I think they enabled that.
Well, that's what I was hoping with the Venmo coming on, because Venmo is very similar to Cash App. I was hoping that with Venmo coming on, then that would be the way that you could.
I would anticipate they will, if a lot of users are requesting that. Now, you got to realize, when Cash App released Bitcoin wasn't as popular. So probably a lot of the users were saying, we want to get our Bitcoin out of Cash App. Please enable this, or we're going to use another exchange. Now, the problem is right now, Venmo customer base is probably like a Robinhood customer base.
Yeah.
Robinhood, you can't remove the asset either. So my feeling is that will a lot of people that use Venmo request that? My thing is this. I don't mind that they don't let you remove it, because we have options to use other exchanges that are cheaper, that are probably better for us to use anyways, that let us remove the Litecoin or the other crypto immediately. So we'll just opt to use that as more the pros, or the people that are more advanced in the crypto space. But a lot of newcomers, they might not mind, because again, unless they get why you want to remove your crypto from the exchange and take possession of it, they're not going to think to do it anyways. Right. And at that point in time, if they're just leaving it on an exchange, and then the exchange doesn't let them remove it, it's probably an advantage from a security standpoint at that point in time. It's probably a lot safer, because they're not going to remove it anyways.
I was wondering how it will affect Litecoin. Would it be the same kind of thing where it would affect the price of Litecoin as more people or individuals are purchasing Litecoin on Venmo, on PayPal, and we already know that they're not releasing it. So it's kind of like a grayscale trust. It's not a trust, but in the way that I'm seeing it is that it's taking more Litecoin out of the market, and it's wrapping it up.
Yeah.
So there causes scarcity.
100%. Even though we can't remove it from PayPal or Venmo,
Right. It still removes it from the market.
They have to hold that asset. That's the rule. And that's actually what we pointed out was a good part of the bit license.
Mm-hmm.
And if a crypto exchange is, I guess, available in New York, they have to be following that rule. They can't sell you a synthetic crypto and not have it one for one. So I think that's why we saw the price of Doge pumping, because the Robinhood traders are trading it like crazy, and Robinhood's having to buy it, I guess. So it's driving the price up. So yeah, I think the price will be driven up dramatically with Litecoin and Venmo, because again, it's lower in price relative to Ethereum or Bitcoin. So just following that logic, people will like it for that fact.
Yeah, that's been really interesting to me to watch. We've had, several friends here just recently within the last couple of weeks. We've had a wave of adoption and people contacting Charlie and me and, asking how to get into cryptos and all that. And so during this wave of adoption, there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, but Bitcoin's, almost 60 grand. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to buy a whole one. But there is something really satisfying about being able to buy a whole Litecoin or a whole Digibyte, a whole Theta, or multiple Thetas. So I don't know if that's just psychological or
it's just a mental thing for people. Yeah. I guess it's a good like goal to get to. If you get into crypto and say, hey, I want to be able to accumulate one full Bitcoin. Mm-hmm. And I think a cool thing to be would say your strategy was, all right, I'm going to buy 50% Bitcoin and then 50% altcoins, right? And then as the altcoins pump versus Bitcoin, you could swap them into Bitcoin to take the profit to kind of like.
Yeah, because Bitcoin really has, it's not done yet by any mean, but it is a lot more stable than it has been in the past. So it does feel like that place where people will store their wealth. They might make gains on those smaller coins. But I hear people more and more kind of their strategy is either to swap it into Litecoin or Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Some of those.
That's a good strategy. If you were fortunate enough to have like traded into Doge at like a few cents or whatever, you would definitely have wanted to have, when it pumped up to like 40 cents, have taken your profits into Bitcoin and looked back and said, this is just, and that's a good, like, Bitcoin should be like a good measuring stick for everybody. So you can go to like World Coin Index and whatever crypto you like. And this goes for every crypto that's not Bitcoin. Look at it on a 1-day chart, a 7-day chart, a 30-day chart, a 90-day chart. And on CoinMarketCap, it'll show you what percentage is it up in US dollar, and then what percentage is it up relative to Bitcoin.
Oh.
Your crypto might be up in US dollar and down versus Bitcoin. That means it's underperforming the market. But on the flip side, if your crypto's pumped up a lot relative to Bitcoin, it's overperforming so like, let's look at real quick. I'm pulled up CoinMarketCap on my phone. Let's take a look.
Oh, I can do that. I'm sorry.
All right, I'm gonna see. So let's see. So I'm gonna go to let's go to Dogecoin because that's in the news, right? So
Dogecoin.
Now that's falling off, right? So on a 7-day chart, it's up 43.58%, and it's up to against Bitcoin 77.17%.
Okay. And you said that was in the 1-day chart?
That was on a 7-day chart.
On a 7-day chart, okay.
That was on Dogecoin. Now it's obviously that's deflating right now as we speak. So if you look at Litecoin, it's let's go to Litecoin. I got that pulled up on my phone. Litecoin on a 7-day chart is down in US dollar 11.67%, but it's up 8.99% relative to Bitcoin. So it's outperformed Bitcoin in the past week.
Oh,
go to the 7-day.
7-day, sorry. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. And then I'm looking at it on my phone. I'm trying to see on the computer. It might be blocking it. Maybe scroll up a little bit, Lisa. Let's see. No, scroll back the other way.
The other way. Where it was saying over
Oh,
here.
there it goes. Okay, yeah, yep. So if you look underneath, I think yours is still on the, maybe it's on the 1-day. On my phone, if I'm on 7-day, it shows 11.
Well, maybe you have to put 7-day up somewhere else.
What does yours show up in Bitcoin compared to it? I don't know. It is looking a little different on the mobile app, but
interesting. Yeah, because if I go down here and click 7-day, then that's Bitcoin. But up here doesn't really change by the price, the percentage.
Oh, because now you're on Bitcoin, the asset.
Yeah.
So if you go into Litecoin or any other asset, it'll show you the price compared to Bitcoin and US dollar.
So compared to Bitcoin, Litecoin is up 1.51%.
But it's still down in US dollar for the day.
Mm-hmm. And it's down in ETH.
Yeah. It's a good measuring stick. Whatever your crypto is to see, hey, how's it performing? Is it pumped up? Is it not pumped up? Is it undervalued? Is it overvalued? And that's why that's why I like looking at that Bitcoin to Litecoin ratio. And that shows you that's another good measuring stick of comparing
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
So back to Dogecoin. It is in the news right now, and I'm wondering what your thoughts are. You sent me a little text message, and then we started talking about the Pretendency's new proposal for anywhere from 43 to 56, I think 58, even in New York, percent capital gains for people, and how that might tie in with the Dogecoin.
Ties in big time. I have a feeling there's some dark forces behind this Dogecoin. And the reason being, so it's kind of like an abandoned blockchain. There's no development on it. Blocks are still actively mined, but there's no development on it or whatever. So I feel like, again, anybody can market it however they want. I feel like there's some dark forces marketing it. Now, why would they want to pump this up in price? Simple. They want to, and I've talked about this on an episode in the past. They want to make it cool to be a trader. They want to make kids think, oh, I'm a day trader. That's my job. Buy and sell. Buy, sell, day trade. This is all capital gains revenue for them, which coincidentally, we see the capital gains rate is going up a lot. It's going to be going up a lot. I think you muted, Lisa.
Sorry, Mom was in the kitchen.
No problem.
So yeah, going up dramatically for sure. That's what I was saying. Were you able to hear me when I was talking about the Pretendency and anywhere from 43 to 58%?
Yep. Okay.
I want to make sure. Yeah, that's really concerning. I also had another thought, and I don't want to play the video because I'll probably get in trouble, but Michael Saylor was on an interview challenging this gold guy, and he just tanked the gold guy. And he said that if you get down to just delivery of asset, that gold takes people, guns, vehicles, and leaves a carbon footprint to exchange gold.
Yeah.
And he said, you know, with Bitcoin, there's none of that. There's safety, there's security, it's, you know, much quicker, all of those things. And I thought that was really interesting. I've never heard somebody talk about the delivery, and it made me start thinking of when, and I don't know if it was that video or another video, somebody else was talking about all the times that the government, you know, and not just our government, all over the world, has confiscated people's gold over and over and over. In 33, you know, was it Roosevelt did it here?
Yeah.
And so could this be a way of identifying who's in cryptos? You know, when you file your taxes this year, there's no way to move past that point if you're electronically filing, no way to move past that point without answering that question. So is this all a way to identify people?
I wouldn't worry about that, because for two things. One, they make you do KYC.
Okay, so they already know.
Well, and not only that they already know, the fact that they're making you do that KYC means that they've deemed it legal. So if you're buying something legally and then they tried to make it illegal and it had a legal status that they made you go through these loopholes to get, I think from that angle, it'd be very hard for them to try to confiscate it. Back in the day when people got gold, there was no legal way where people were getting it. It was just kind of like, so it was different.
Because it was more like bartered from individuals and whatever. There wasn't the KYC issue. Okay.
Second of all, Bitcoins became too big to fail. You have all these big companies that have moved their balance sheet into it. So quite the contrary, I think they would do anything to protect it at this point in time. But what I can see is a crackdown on a lot of cryptos. So I could see like a lot of cryptos them deeming illegal.
Do you mean more like the altcoins, not
Sure.
the things that PayPal and Venmo are involved with and that have already been, you know, deemed?
Anything on PayPal or Grayscale or has been deemed like regulatory compliant, I'd say. So those are safe. But anything else is a gray area. And what I'd say to people might say, oh, but it's such a good use case, this and that. The stuff with a good use case scares me even more. Why do they want that? That's all the more scary if it has a real good use case. So that's all stuff to be concerned about. But no, I wouldn't be worried about them like trying to confiscate it, because again, they would be trying to confiscate code. That's very hard. Like where Michael Saylor was saying, gold's a physical thing.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a lot easier to confiscate gold than it would Bitcoin.
Yeah. So your thought process is that this Dogecoin could be connected to the bad guys in trying to recruit more people, because if it's something trackable with KYC, then they're all paying taxes like good little slaves.
It serves two purposes for them. Okay. It serves the tax purpose. They want people trading cryptos and trading stocks. They want to put that out there that it's cool, because they get think about it. They send a stimulus check out to people. They say they put videos on TikTok to trade. Mm-hmm. Say the kid trades a $1,400 stimulus check into $50,000 or $100,000. Now he owes a good amount of tax money. Perfect. They just made money on giving that kid $1,400. So it serves that purpose. And then I feel like it's not going to end well for this Dogecoin. Then what they can do too is lump all cryptos that aren't Bitcoin in with Dogecoin. And they can say, hey, Bitcoin, digital gold, that's good. But as far as using cryptos go and all this other stuff, it's a joke. Look at that. Ha ha ha. And they could, again, discredit work that people in the space are trying to do as far as like building real products. It'll be a lot easier to discredit that. So I feel like it serves multiple key sets of agenda that they would have. It's too suspicious to me. It doesn't smell right with this.
Well, and it was all like just massive marketing by, like you said, there's not really a use case for it. And if you look at the history of it, I mean, this is just a 1-year chart. And this was when Elon Musk got involved. So there's not really a sustainability there, other than I have had people argue that the market cap or the volume of it is what would help bring sustainability to Doge.
And I'll throw 2 more things out there for you. Look at 2 other people that are behind this: Elon Musk and Mark Cuban. I don't think Tesla's where it's at, and Mark Cuban's on CNBC and owns a basketball team. People are the system.
Yeah.
So obviously, if these people are promoting it, they're kind of either telling them to they're like, there's
not in the individual's best interest if they're
they're doing this for a reason. And it's not to, because I put out a video about it the other day. It's not to create a currency for the people. 99% of people that own Doge could not do a transaction on the Doge network. If I launch 100 Doge holders and said I got $10,000 bounty right here, I want to see who can do a transaction on the Doge network right now. You can't look it up on YouTube how to do it. You got to just do it right now. They wouldn't be able to do it. Maybe one person would. 99 of them. 90 of them would say, well, they got it on Robinhood. You can't even send it out of there. So there you go. So it's, it's not being marketed for a currency for the people for to save humanity. It's being marketed to raise tax revenue and to make a joke out of crypto.
And to KYC a whole bunch of people who weren't even in the system before, because there was a big, Doge did cause another wave of adoption.
Sure.
It was a brilliant marketing.
If it's, I don't look at it as all bad. If people come into Doge and then do some research and find other stuff, there's good outcomes. Everything bad or everything with bad intentions also has good outcomes that come of it. So it's, there's not always, nothing's ever 100% bad. So there will be people that come in for Doge and stay for Bitcoin and Litecoin and like the real like crypto revolution. But I think a lot of people will get burned. But I'm a free market guy, so I don't want any regulation to come in and change anything. I just say, hey, it's the free market's got to work itself out.
Definitely. You also were talking about, I was watching your Twitter today, and you're talking about Litecoin, and the let me find you. I think you were talking about the volume of trading going on right now.
Oh, the number of transactions on the Litecoin network.
Oh, transactions. Okay.
Yeah. This is a key metric. So the Bitcoin network right now has kind of became unusable this week. The reason being because of the problem with the hash rate dropping. Because I don't know if you heard about that, Lisa. I
didn't. No.
There was a big explosion in China. Again, China dominates mining. So a province in China has had, I guess, a major power outage. So a lot of miners went offline. So I believe there was up to like a 20% drop in hash rate. What happened was it's been clogging up the Bitcoin network. Think of it like a traffic jam on a highway, an already busy highway. So I think the average Bitcoin fee right now is about $55 to send a transaction on the Bitcoin network. So
Really?
yeah, we're seeing transactions rising on the Litecoin network.
Okay. So people are looking for those other highways.
Think of Litecoin as old trusty. It's here for people. And I've had people call me in the last week or two, and I'm helping them out with situations. And they were trying to send Bitcoin, and they said, "What's with this fee? It looks really expensive." I've had to explain to them what it is. And hey, there's an alternative. You have Litecoin. Maybe in your app, swap into that and send it out. So you can send out something that's going to cost you less.
I tried to swap in Exodus some Litecoin for some Digibyte, and it said that there was none available at this time. Does that happen a lot?
Well, first of all, I wouldn't. So if you're going to swap an Exodus, you're better off.
Fees are kind of high, I guess.
You're better off to go to Changelly directly and swap, because all Exodus does is uses Changelly as the back end, and they give you a nice front end. It's like a POS system. So Exodus is great, but if we know how to do a transaction on the network, we're better off just doing
it ourselves.
Changelly. Okay. But probably because of liquidity issues, again, you were trying to swap Litecoin into Digibyte, you were saying?
Yeah, some.
Digibyte's not that liquid. So
that's the other issue. Okay.
That's probably why. So again, a crypto's not liquid. And I'm happy you brought that up, Lisa. It's what separates Litecoin from Digibyte. I'm not knocking Digibyte. I like Digibyte, but you wouldn't want to tell someone to send $1 million on the Digibyte network and then have to go sell it and
be stuck.
Swap it and be stuck.
Yeah.
You're not going to have that issue with Litecoin. It's going to clear fast. You're going to be able to get rid of millions of dollars of it at the snap of your fingers. You as the sender, the person transacting, you don't know if the person's going to hodl on the other end, nor should you care, nor should it be any of your business.
Right.
You should never send someone crypto with strings attached and be like, you have to keep it for this amount of time. Mm-hmm. You don't know their financial situation. They may say, hey, I like transacting in cryptos, but I don't have money to be saving right now. Times are tough. Maybe they have a medical problem and they're having to pay for treatment. And they're like, hey, sorry, you're able to save all this money. I have to spend my money. So that's right. Thing is, don't knock someone because they can't hodl. You don't know what's going on in their life. So being liquid,
I think that I'm sorry, go ahead.
Just being liquid's key, and that's what makes why we're seeing these transactions rise in the Litecoin network. Why it's the best alternative for real world. There's a few alternatives for transacting in cryptos. It's probably the cryptos that you see on PayPal. It's Bitcoin, it's Litecoin, it's Ethereum, and it's Bitcoin Cash. Out of those 4, 2 are good to transact with: Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. Bitcoin and Ethereum aren't good for small Bitcoin's fine for large transactions,
right?
For your smaller transactions. So,
I just had a question and I should have written it down.
Yeah, sorry, I kept going.
No, you're good. But I was thinking it brought up a really good point about, I know what it is. So is there an argument, and what are your thoughts on who chooses which currency? So is it, hey, I'm selling something and I want to sell I only want to sell my purse for Litecoin? Or is it the buyer to say, I'm willing to buy whatever, but I want to use Digibyte because the fees are cheaper? Who gets to say what currency you're trading in?
So as of right now, the seller would enable what cryptos they want to support. Now, like they may only, like say they use Coin Payments Gateway, which is a very popular gateway. And what a gateway is, that's a software that lets you easily process a cryptocurrency payment.
Okay.
Using this gateway, you can use the gateway to connect into Shopify or WooCommerce or these shopping carts. And that way, when you go to check out in Shopify, we're able to select an option that says crypto. Okay. Now, you might say Coin Payments supports like 1,000 cryptos. They support almost everything. You may say, well, I only want to support 10 on my end because a lot of them aren't liquid. And usually here's what I've seen in my experience of doing this in the real world. The seller usually isn't that into crypto. They don't care about crypto like we do. They just say, hey, we have a problem with accepting payments. We need crypto right now to accept the payment. Or, hey, we don't mind marketing to the crypto community to accept these payments, but they need an easy way to cash out. So then we show them, they're like, how do I cash out easily? In that easy way to cash out, they don't want to do it. So like, give you a good example. I've had people in the past call stores that I set up to accept Bitcoin or Litecoin. And they've been from another crypto community. And they've asked the store, would you accept their crypto? The stores called me and asked me, should they accept that crypto? And I said to them, you can, but you can't sell it easily for US dollars. As soon as I say that, they say, we don't want it. Right off the bat. Oh, you're muted again, Lisa.
Sorry, they're opening and closing the door back
here.
That's all that liquidity issue, right?
Yeah, that's the liquidity issue. So in the future, what I would hope would happen if we go into like a crypto world would be settling into one crypto every day. Now, what I anticipate happening, I think for a lot of businesses, they'll settle into Litecoin. And then larger settlement will occur into Bitcoin. It'll kind of be like a funnel. You'll go
like their operating expenses will stay in Litecoin because they need to be able to transact with that. But then like the assets on the sheet go into Bitcoin. Is that kind of what you're saying?
They may say, we'll let you pay in all these different cryptos that are compatible with whatever network they're using, right?
Okay.
These networks like are coming out, like Flexa, Lightning Network, all these different networks, right? So pay whatever crypto, and then the back end, they'll say, we'll take settlement each day in whatever currency of their liking. Now, the advantage of taking it in Litecoin over, now you may say, well, why does it matter at that point in time? Take into Bitcoin, like you said, Lisa, transacting. What if they need it for operating capital?
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, too, settlement will be more expensive to take into Bitcoin. It may be like, okay, it might cost you $75 to take your daily settlement into Bitcoin, but it'll cost you 2 cents to take it into Litecoin. Which you're going to pick. It may be on the size of the business. A Tesla might say, we're going to take it into Bitcoin. It doesn't matter. $75 a day is a 99% reduction from where they're at now. But you may be talking about most of the merchants that I talk to. I say $75 a day. That sounds really expensive, Johnny. I want the 2 cents a day option, And then because they might say, I can't, I'm not saving the money, Johnny. We got to then send the money right out the back door to pay our vendors and stuff. So that's, it's great. The Main Street USA is not Michael Saylor. It's not Elon Musk. They don't have balance sheets. They're not putting out offerings to buy Bitcoin. Main Street USA, bank accounts are negative.
Right.
Probably each month, the average business pays a couple $100 in fees the bank hit them with for insufficient funds charges and this and that. They're running day to day. If you cut off their money supply for a day, you're strangling them. A couple days, the business is on the verge of closing. Most businesses I encounter, if they don't get their money for a week, they're out of business. They'll have to turn the lights off. And
I think that a lot of Americans are that way as well. That they're living that paycheck to paycheck. And I know businesses count on those credit lines, to keep their business going, keep, money's going in the door as fast as it's going out the door, a lot of times. So
yeah,
definitely. That's really interesting to think about the liquidity issue. And then I did wonder about that. And it makes a lot of sense that it would be the person doing the selling to make the choice of what it would settle in. And that would be awful if somebody like bought your car with Digibyte and then you couldn't cash out.
Yeah, that's that's one of the problems of not just the problem of Digibyte, it's a problem of
a lot of coins, yeah.
Most cryptos that aren't in the top not even necessarily top in coin market cap. You go to the World Coin Index, and they'll show you coins in terms of trading volume. And so a lot of times we say, well, the trading volume, isn't that manipulation? Isn't that fake? So there's two different metrics to look at. There's blockchain activity. What we showed before was transactions on the Litecoin network. That's actually sending value on the network. And then there's trading activity, which is the liquidity in the exchanges. So it is important to have high activity because it's like, hey, if there's $5 billion a day traded, if you get $5 million worth, and there's $5 billion. So this is World Coin Index. And this is going to show you the coins in terms of trading volume. So normally it's Bitcoin number 1,
wow,
Ethereum number 2, and Litecoin number 3. And right now we see Dogecoin, because of the pump, has kind of temporarily moved up. And Ripple's up there right now because Ripple's kind of been pumping recently. But normally, again, Litecoin is 3rd. Sometimes Litecoin's ahead of Ethereum in terms of trading volume. Litecoin has a lot of trading volume, which is, again, it's all about that real world money use.
Interesting. So what are they doing right now where it's like turning different colors and bouncing around? Is that like a live?
That's buys and kind of like buys and sells. Kind of red is kind of like sells. The greens are buys, and this is just kind of like just the real world market.
How crazy that Doge is 3rd on this.
It's 3rd in terms of trading volume right now. It doesn't surprise me because it was pumping and now it's dumping. I would totally expect Doge to go back down below like 15 cents and trade. And then if it goes down below 15 cents, you might look for it to pump again like crazy.
Because those kind of Wall Street bets groups and things like that are then finding these things that are low and going in and pushing them up, right?
Right. And we saw it kind of pump a second time, and now it's kind of dying off. I don't think it pumps a 3rd time on this leg, personally. I think it's going to run out of steam. And then let's see what happens with other coins relative to Doge. But Doge is, again, a good point. That, what I like to ask people that ask me about Doge, I ask them a question. And I say, do you think Dogecoin is cheap or expensive compared to Litecoin? And they say, what's the price of Litecoin? I say, well, right now, Litecoin's about $253.
Yeah.
Doge is 26 cents. So everybody would say, well, Doge is cheap. Litecoin's expensive. And I tell them, no, Doge is expensive. Litecoin is cheap. And they say, how do you figure? And I say, because it's the market cap you have to look at, not the price per coin. You only look at the market cap. That's it. You never should look at the price per coin. It's only the market cap that is the value of the coin.
Interesting. So that showing Litecoin at 16.84 billion and Dogecoin is 34.69 billion market cap.
Yeah. And if somebody asks you and says, well, asks about Doge, click on Dogecoin real quick, Lisa. Now go to the 1 year chart. Click on 1 year. So look at that chart right there. Okay. Does that look like a good opportunity? Something good to get in? If you didn't ask what that is, you'd be like, what the hell is this? This thing went, why was the line straight down there? And now it's like it looks like a line that went straight up. Okay.
Even the all looks even worse.
It looks insane. Now scroll back up, Lisa, to the top. Click on the World Coin Index in the top left. Just like the logo. And click on that. Bring it back to the main page. Now click on Litecoin. And now click on 1 year. And click on all right now. Actually, click on the all.
Interesting.
What looks like a better opportunity? You know, you'd say, well, wow, this one had a flat line, but it did that thing where it went right up, and it's had a lot of action since then. So if you just look and that kind of, if I was in court, I mean, I'd show that and then the market cap, and that'll be my closing arguments and say, okay, I now rest my case.
Yeah, and even this little peak right here, the 335 was not even, it was, close to the other all-time, the former all-time high, but there's a huge opportunity right now with it at 252 or 270. Wait, did it just go up? No, 252. Interesting.
Yeah, huge, big opportunity. And, look at the Litecoin of today versus the Litecoin of December 2017. The Litecoin of today is 10 times stronger. It has so much more liquidity. It has more hash rate. It has more consistent volume. Has more use. Has more use case.
So with all of those things, do you see it going past the all-time high or sustaining longer for past the new or making a new all-time high?
Once an asset goes past the old all-time high, you're kind of in no man's land. So I would expect it, if it breaks that old all-time high, to keep running. And that's why I made the bet that's saying that it would hit 600 before Theta hit $21, because I figured once it breaks past the old all-time high of was 360 something, I think.
I was gonna say I can get it to 330 something.
I was on there, but that doesn't really reflect that's maybe like a weekly close it shows on there. And then the old, I think it hit officially 363 was the official high for Litecoin. And on a Coinbase, Litecoin did hit $420. That was just on the Coinbase platform. So I figure, with all that being said, once it breaks past 380, it's going to keep running. So I think from 380 to 600 could happen fast.
Interesting. Because then it'll have all the hype and the energy and noise around it as well.
And you got to remember, Litecoin is suppressed, intentionally suppressed by people. So there's a lot of big players that put out information to intentionally suppress the price of Litecoin. One guy is this Mike Novogratz guy. Whenever he gets a chance, it's pretty much the only crypto he attacks. He attacks Litecoin. Now, why is he attacking Litecoin? He's supposed to be about crypto adoption, a fund, this and that. I don't want to get channel taken down again. Obviously, that's part of the system, so I'll let you guys
use your imagination.
Use your imagination. So there's a lot of other people too. A lot of big channels. Some guy, Cryptos Are Us. He's always putting out videos against Litecoin. These are people with big followings that are putting out information against Litecoin. So that makes me love it even more. And there's people out there that call me. One of my customers, they used to be my customer for the merchant business, will message me randomly how much he hates Litecoin, all these other coins, this and that. And he doesn't realize it makes me like it more. The thing is, this dumbass, I hope he's watching this so he can see what I have to say. This dumbass has always had problems with the regular payment system. He's had chargebacks. He's had the credit card company hold his money. He's complained about it. Is there a solution? Yeah, it's Litecoin, you nitwit. And he doesn't want to admit it. He wants to look at every other crypto. But then if I'd say, well, would you want someone to pay you in it? Oh no, I'd rather get the credit card system. So it's like, like Nana said, Litecoin derangement syndrome. Nana, I love it. I want to tweet that later. Let's get a tweet going or a hashtag.
Yeah. Hashtag. And then have people tag the people who have Litecoin derangement syndrome.
I'm going to do a video yelling at people. Do you have Litecoin derangement syndrome? I think, Nana, you put me up to something.
I love it. I love it. Well, we will be tagging and retweeting some Litecoin derangement syndrome.
Give me a weekend thing to look forward to doing. Maybe I'll put out a surprise video this weekend about Litecoin derangement.
That would be perfect. Well, Johnny, thanks so much for joining us and educating us on more of those issues of liquidity. I hope you win your bet, because if you win your bet, I do pretty well myself. Actually, I do well either way. So I like Theta and I like Litecoin. I'm on both teams there.
Even if I lose, I'm happy for all you guys, because I know a lot of people that I know and friends have Theta. So guys, if I lose, I'm happy for you guys that you're making money. So Johnny's happy either way.
That's right. Well, from Lisa and Johnny, everybody have a great weekend. Tomorrow's Friday, so we'll have Clint Westwood joining us. Lord knows what that man's going to start talking about. He said he has a list, so you guys tune in. I am going to post that Michael Saylor interview on my Patreon right after this. So if you guys are interested, it's $5. Go join, check out some other stuff. There was a lot of crazy news today that I posted some of that on my Patreon. I'm going to do more of that tonight. So take care. Thanks so much again, Johnny. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Lisa. Later, guys.